Hi guys, it's Zhang again with Moolahwise.com, and today I just want to make this quick little video about accumulating wealth in 3 phases. Okay, so you want to accumulate your wealth in 3 phases of your life. Okay, so the first one is accumulation, and then the next phase is distribution. And then the last phase is estate transfer. And I'll talk about different mindsets for each one of these phases. So think of this as your lifeline, or your lifetime, I should say. So in the beginning, when you're young, you want to accumulate money, right? So you during your accumulation phase, you want to spend less, right? And you want to think about rates of return, okay? And then once you get to the distribution phase, right? You want to, in this phase, you want to start thinking about your income. And when you start thinking about income, then you want to think about your tax impact on your income. And simply because during this phase, you most likely will not be working anymore. And if you're not working anymore, then the tax consequences on your money will be very impactful compared to when you're working, compared to when you're, in your working years, when you're accumulating it, it may not be as impactful because you're still working, you're still young, you still have time. But here, when you are starting to take out the money, you may not have the time, and taxes is a bigger impact now, because now that you're not making any income, then you got to worry about the money that you do bring home. And then the last transfer, is the estate transfer. Okay, and in this phase, you may need a will and a trust, right? Like you have kids like I do, then you may need a will and a trust to avoid probate. And then the last thing you want to is lower your estate taxes. So again, we have 3 different, so this is wealth in 3 phases. Okay, so in the first phase is what we call accumulation. And in this phase, you want to think about spending less or living below your means. And you also want to think about rates of return, because in this phase, you still have a lot of time. So you could be a little bit more risky or with your investments. And then over here in the distribution phase, you want to think about income, and you want to think about the tax consequences on your income. And since when you're in this phase, you're not going to have that much time, so you want to think of less risky investments, right? Or more conservative, if you will. And then when you're in the estate transfer, or the last phase of the wealth, you want to think about having a will and a trust. Why? Because so that way you can avoid probate, and then you also have a will and a trust so you could lower your estate taxes. Again, this is not supposed to be financial advice or legal advice. This is more of a conceptual understanding. And please reach out to me if you have any other questions at info@moolahwise.com, or consult with your own financial professional and get their advice, because everybody's financial situation is different. And I'm only sharing this video as a conceptual understanding. If you have any other questions, reach out to me at info@moolahwise.com, or you can learn more at my website at moolahwise.com. Again, that is moolahwise.com. And my email is info@moolahwise.com. And again, it's Zhang with moolahwise.com.